Hey girls and guys and girls. So yeah, I'm back again with another word video, whatever you wish to call it, right? And he's given me the confirmations from last night through to this morning, okay? The dream, hearing about it and hearing about it again. So 3 times he's actually issued this kind of like warning to not only me but to others. Okay, for me, I was like, is this really for me? Because I've been following guidelines, basically what he's been giving me, so I don't think this is for me. But I know that I had been like this at some point, okay, and you'll see where I'm getting at in a moment anyway. But it's just one of them things that he's pinpointing right now, and I believe like it's definitely a now word for whoever it's for, okay? This is a current situation for someone who's out there, and as I said, I've been there, okay? And it's something that we don't particularly look at as, let me just get into it and you'll understand where I'm coming from, okay? So this was from last night, as I said, which was the 16th through to the 17th, okay? So it's like this dream was in flashes, okay? That's the best way that I can explain it to you. So it's like 3 separate parts that he just kept on repeat, okay? And because sometimes like when we wake up we lose certain information, so he has to pinpoint the parts that he wants us to remember, okay? Me in particular, because like I have to keep on asking him, just anything you want to speak to me about, just keep it on repeat, keep repeating it, so that when I wake up I can just write it down instantly, because I don't grab the phone. The light on the phone just irritates my eyes, so I grab the pen and the pad that's next to me in my journal, right? Because it's easier. Even if the writing comes out a mess, it's just easier, okay? I can open my eyes a little bit better, my hand moves in the right way, so it's just easier for me than picking up the phone trying to focus on light and all kinds of things happening. No, right? So let's get into the dream. So as I said, it's in like 3 parts. So me and some other people were walking into a supermarket, right? And a male came over and wrapped his arm around me. I know this male in waking life, and sometimes he'll use this male so that I can get the name meaning, okay? So we ended up walking into the supermarket, and we embraced each other. We was talking, and he still had his arm around me, and he turned and he said, I love those pictures that you posted. They made me hot, especially one in particular, and it helped because he was the one who helped to pick out the outfit, right? So at that point I had my head rested against his chest, okay, like we're side to side. I've got my hands around his waist, he's got his arms around my neck, kind of thing. And yeah, we're walking in. As we walk in, I'm looking around, but I'm not in particularly knowing exactly what it is that I'm looking for, right? So then from that place, it's a little bit blurry here, but I just remember hearing this woman led to Leyden, okay? And that's what just kept on being repeated. This woman led to Leyden. This woman led to Leyden, right? And then I seen the number 93, okay? And the 93 was just flashing there. And then it went back to the woman. This woman led to Leyden, but I didn't know who the woman was, okay? Just kept on hearing it. But there was a woman who was visible, but not visible at the same time. It's dreamland, okay? It's spiritual land, so he can do whatever he likes, okay, and make it be perceived in the way that he wants it to be perceived. So that was it. That's the 3 parts of the dream. So the person who we use, his name means dark, okay, or darkness. And laden, when I look up laden, it means heavy loaded or weighed down. And 93, when I've looked it up in the Hebrew and the Strongs and every other version, it says knots or a knot, right? Knot tree. And then someone did their own little version and said son of merciful God, and I put a question mark because not in nowhere in the Hebrew or the Greek or anything did I see that version, but he broke it down in a certain way to say that that's what he got from it, so I put it there. But unless God really points me to say that it's the son of merciful God, you know, to a degree I can say that it fits in, because we know that Jesus is the son of our merciful God, right? And he sent him down here to save us. But until God like issues that into my spirit for it to be spoken, I'm not going to put that here, because we should know that, okay? And I'm just going to go off of what he's been pointing me to recently as well, which was Songs of Solomon 6:11, okay? And I was like, is there any mention of a nut in the Bible? And in Songs of Solomon, it says that he goes down to the nut tree. Let me just, instead of paraphrasing it, let me just do a little thing over here. So yeah, that's what you must do when you're having your dreams as well. Like, if there's anything that you don't have an understanding about, go to the Bible and see if what you're seeing or what you're being told is anywhere within the Bible, okay? So that you can have something to reference off of, so that you know that you're not just saying any old thing, right? I went down to the nut tree. Sorry, I couldn't be asked to put in the Solomon 6:11. I went down into the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, and to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. Right? So that was the verse that he gave me, okay, from the Bible. And you'll see how I'm gonna get into that when I give the revelation that he gave me right now, okay? So what he said is, you are still rubbing shoulders with darkness. Your pictures are sexual and explicit. You are still lost in worldly source instead of choosing the source, okay? You've been shopping around with the hope you will find anything, or should I say anyone, who will make you feel worthy or even sexy again. God has set you free, and with your freedom, he wants you to make the right choices. Someone is trying to take the lead in your life, but if you allow them this access to you and the decisions you make, you will become weighed down with a heavy load to bear, which will ultimately stunt your growth in the Lord, specifically your purity walk. You have been covered and protected so that you may not fall into such sins again. Contain yourself, control yourself, and do not allow for anyone to deflower you, no matter how charming, enduring, or handsome they are. Know your worth, okay? And now you probably say, how did I get that explanation? Okay, I think it's pretty straightforward, but to others it might not be, okay? As I said, the person's name in dark, right? So that's where he says that you are still rubbing shoulders with darkness, because if you remember me saying, he came over and we was hugging, right? But we was side to side, right? So rubbing shoulders, okay? Hopefully that part you understand. When he says that you are shopping around, okay? We went to the supermarket, so you're shopping around for something when you go to the supermarket right now, because you are not feeling as worthy as you feel like you should, or no one's giving you any attention. You don't feel loved, you don't feel beautiful, right? But you're using the worldly sense of saying you want somebody to make you feel sexy, so you post these pictures in order for people to look and think that you're attractive, right? Because you don't feel that way about yourself. And there's loads of people who feel insecure, all right? And when they post pictures and they get the likes and things, it does make them feel a lot better about themselves. He's saying that you need to come away from that, okay? Because you are beautiful. He just doesn't want you to be showing off everything that you've got, okay, to those who are not worthy of you, okay? And with the part about the woman, okay, even though I didn't see the woman 100%, it says there's somebody who's trying to take the lead in your life. There's somebody who's trying to lead you, okay, astray, right? It's going to either be a woman or a man, but he showed me a woman, okay, that's leading you astray, okay, that ultimately will just have you in a situation that's going to weigh you down, okay, or make you end up with a heavy load that you should never have ended up having to bear in the first place, okay. It will stunt your growth, okay. You will not move from this place. This person will keep you there, right? What that choice that you made with this person, should I say, I shouldn't say this person, but the choice that you make following this person will leave you in that place where you will feel more stressed, more pressured, probably more unworthy than you felt before, okay. So make your decision to stay in a purity walk, okay. This person could be egging you on to do specific things, okay, that do imply of a sexual nature, to go out there and buy clothes that are sexy so that you can get views, or whatever it may be, but it's pertaining to definitely pictures and things like that, okay, that online presence that you may have to keep up to get all the likes and things like that. He's talking to a majority of people. This doesn't even have to be only about women, all right, because men do this too. And it's like those thirst traps that people put up, right? And like, look at me and my body and things like that, and behind the scenes they're unhappy, okay. We've seen a lot of this happen online. There was even a woman who I think she was a model, or what's that thing called, catwalk modeling, isn't it? Yeah. Or she did like the pageants or something like that, and she took her own life. She left a note for her mom and she took her own life. She was so unhappy, right? And imagine, she had all of that fame and everything and she was still unhappy. Like, it doesn't matter how many pictures you take and how explicit you may think that they need to be. If the work's not being done on the inside of you, you're still at this place where you are being misled, okay. You're being misled to this place that you're not supposed to be. It's like the Jezebel spirit, okay. Jezebel with the sexual stuff, with the what's the word that we can use for her? It's like that over independence, and trying to rule everything, right? And he's saying you need to come step away from that, okay, because you're being led to this place where it's not helping you to grow, okay. And the thing, as I said, with the nut, and we went to Solomon, right? He said he went down to the nut. He said, some say nut garden, some say nut tree, right? But he went down there to see if everything had been flourishing. Like, you allow for these things to keep happening, it's going to stunt your growth, okay. Because when you think of a nut, right, and when you go and look up a nut, it says that they are in a shell, okay. That's a protection, that's a layer of protection, okay. When it's cracked open, then it's exposed, right. And he's saying if you allow for them to do this, yeah, it can be detrimental, right? So you need to stay covered. It says you have been covered and protected, okay? Like a nut, you're on the inside, right? It's like the flesh on the inside, the seed on the inside, right? And I just found out that nuts are actually a fruit. I was like, oh, it's a fruit. I love peanuts and stuff like that, right? But I've never really looked into what it was, okay? But a peanut is a fruit, right? And the Bible speaks about some of the nuts as well. I think they speak about almonds in there as well. Love almonds and stuff like that. So there could be implication as well, which is pinpointed to me, that you need to incorporate some kind of nuts into your diet as well. I know it seems like, where did that come from? But he speaks to me in certain ways as well. He will bring it to my attention, okay? I love peanuts and almond nuts. I'm not really that fond of much others other than cashews. So I think they're like three main nuts that I would turn around and say incorporate some peanuts into your diet, okay, unless you have a peanut allergy, right? Or find another means of what the peanut actually gives you. Like, look up the nutritional value of peanuts or nuts, whatever nut it is you choose, and go with the alternative to a peanut, okay. So yeah, away from that part, he's just saying, Don't allow for yourself to be led, okay, into the darkness, into thinking that this is the way forward. As I said, I fell short in this area as well. I used to think if I took certain pictures, it would enhance, how I look, how I feel about myself, and how other people would view me, right? And in reality, it was just like part of me of an insecurity, because I didn't feel like people liked the way that I looked and things like that. But at the same time, I was kind of happy with the person who I was. So it was kind of it's a difficult thing to explain to people, because I was in a happy place. Even though I was a lot chubbier than I am now, I was in a happier place to see myself, accept myself for who I was, but still felt like people hadn't accepted me for who I was, right? But now he's got me at a place where I don't care what anyone thinks about me and what they have to say, right? And he needs us to be at that place. We need to be confident in him, okay? That's where our confidence comes from, and confident in the knowing that he is the one who loves us. He's the one who gives us value, not what people think about us, or like their likes on our pictures and things like that. Their opinion is unimportant, right? And people will say, how can you say that? Because there are genuine people who love you, and it's understood that there are genuine people who love you, but you cannot place your worth in people. Your worth doesn't belong in what people think about you. Your worth is already determined, and God loves you for exactly who you are. And the more people who come to the knowledge that his opinion is the only one that matters, then you will understand where I'm coming from, okay? You will find that there is less of a need to post yourself, to show people who you are. If people don't know who you are by now, and they don't see the value in you when they see you coming, then they're not worthy of the person who you are, right? They're not worthy to know you in that way if they can't accept you for exactly who you are, right? And I think that's what causes insecurities, because people believe that they should be exalted, loved, admired by others, right? When in actuality, you're supposed to have that love on the inside of you first and foremost, which comes from God, okay? He's the one who issues us with love, because he is love. So if you don't have love, which is him, then you don't really have anything, okay? Because that's the purest form of love. That's the ultimate form of love. It's the only form of love, okay? Because without having love within us, we can't give that to other people, right? So we should be asking for him to fill us with that, so that the insecurities can die down, right? The worries about what people are going to think about you, if you change your hair, or if you don't wear makeup for the day, or if you cover up, or whatever, right? Because even I can turn and say, from my own experience, like when I said that he will ask me to cover my head sometimes, right? That's a decision I've made to be obedient to him, okay? Because that's what he wishes for me to do. I never used to cover my head, right? I never really wanted to, because I like to change my hairstyles all the time, right? Colors, whatever it may be. And I can still do that. He gives me free range to be the person who he knows who I am, as long as it's not to satisfy what other people are going to think about what I look like when I'm doing it. If I decide to bleach my hair, or do something with it that I feel like I want to do, obviously I'll run it past him. Like, he will say, yeah, I can see that working, etc. Like, he'll speak to my spirit, and I'll say, right, he'll give me the peace about it and say, yeah, it's okay, because he knows exactly who I am. He speaks to me for my personal self, with me on mine and his personal journey. When I'm having bad days, off days, or I'm feeling some kind of way, he reassures me that it's okay. It's okay. It's not all the time that I'm always going to feel up there and happy, right? But I do ask for him to issue me with his joy again, because it happens. But instead of running to other people with my problems, I run straight to him now, right? And that's what he wants. When we have these problems, when we have these insecurities, go to him. Okay, I didn't like the fact that I was fat, and I was like, you know what, I love it but hate it all at the same time, right? Because I like a little weight on me, but I don't like excessive weight, because I know the effects that it has on my body and my self-esteem sometimes when I can't find the right tops to wear because my boobs are too big, or I can't find the right bottoms because I've put weight on around my thigh area and stuff. Like, it does it does take, excuse me guys, it does take you to a point where you begin to feel a little bit down, right? And he's the only one that I run to with those things and say, Lord, I need your help in this area. Tell me what it is that you need for me to do. And he told me what he needed for me to do. He gave me the dream and he said, get your butt in the gym. Right? He told me exactly what I needed to do. He stopped me from eating certain foods. I am no longer allowed to eat chocolate the way that I used to eat chocolate, right? And chocolate, oh my God, right? He had to get me off chocolate. He had to show me why I needed to get off chocolate. He will speak to you, right? The way that you need to be spoken to. And I'll give you the example of how he showed me about the chocolate. I was eating it. Right, this was after something had happened that was kind of sad for me, and I started binge eating chocolate again. And he gave me a dream, and he showed like what would have been myself, right, in a changing room with a missing limb. Okay, I had in this, it wasn't me, the woman had, all right, it was showing me but not me, right, and saying that you need to stop doing this, you need to stop doing that. One was stop buying clothes, right? Because where I used to work, I used to buy a whole bunch of clothes. He told me to stop buying clothes. I had to get rid of so many items of clothing, but that's another story. Right? It came to me, this woman had a missing leg, right? And I was shown that. He gave me the numbers that said it was he was telling me off basically about eating the chocolate, right? And saying what could happen. And then he showed me in my bloodline, right, why that woman had the missing limb, because on my mother's side, diabetes, my father's side, diabetes. Okay, so he had me stop eating chocolate, right, because it was one of the main causes for not, I don't know if it was for them, but for me, that would cause me to be in that place. So I've had to cut out chocolate, right? Just, I'm being obedient. I'm not taking that risk, okay? And this is why I says he will ultimately speak to you in the way that he needs to speak to you in your current situation, how he feels he needs to speak to you, okay? Because even for me, like with the smoking, I had to stop that because of asthma, right? With the eating the meat and stuff like that, I noticed instantly when I stopped eating meat, I was less sluggish. I had more energy, and it helped me to lose the weight, right? So he spoke to me in those ways. I'm not ashamed to speak of these things, right? If anybody can look at me in any kind of way and say, oh, that's yourself that's been telling you that, da, 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 da. I know how he speaks to me, all right? This is what I'm saying, that you need that personal relationship with him. But at this time, he's speaking about purity, and that's why he got me originally. I've been on the purity walk for 2 years, right? For 2 years. And that started out of the relationship that I was in previously, okay? And I skimmed past what happened with that, and how he pulled me out of it, okay, to turn and say, this isn't it, this isn't what I want for you, okay? I need you to be purified, I need you to be cleansed, and take out all the muck that's been implanted in you, and the things that you didn't know, I'm going to teach you the new things, right? And it came to me in that way. And right now there is a call for the girls especially. This is why I feel like he's had me speak to the young girls more than anything, because he needs for them to remain pure, okay, and do it the right way. Don't go out there posting all the explicit pictures, getting all the attention, going out with boys, and then all of a sudden falling into sin and sexual behavior and things of that nature, right? When he's saying to just be lowly, humble yourself. It's okay to post a good few pictures and say you're feeling good today. You love yourself to that. You can be covered up. Personally, I've seen a whole bunch of women, not that I look at them like that, but I'm just like, that's a nice combination, because I love clothes, right? So I love the way that they can be expressed on our bodies, okay, as a person, and how you can put colors together, you can match this with that. Like, I've always loved that, especially the era where there was tops with like crop tops over the top of them. Like, I loved that. I did. I was like, oh, I loved it. And then there was an era where we had this was old school, you probably don't even know this, there was trousers with the part skirt. I used to wear them to school. I used to love that. I love the ideas of things like shorts with the part skirt at the front, like whatever it may be, like that's different. Or you can put like simple clothes together, but you wouldn't think that they would go together. Like I seen a lady the other day and she had on a turtleneck or a roll neck, and what did she have? It was like the coat suit over the top, and just a nice simple pair of jeans with like ankle boots, and I was like, that's a nice style, right? And there wasn't too much body showing or anything like that. It's just like, it just gives you room, gives the male room to wonder, okay, like what is going on, not seeing everything and knowing what's going on, okay, because there needs to be an era of mystery, and I wasn't taught that, okay. No disrespects towards any of my parents or anything like that, because they, had given me what they could with what they had, okay, so I love them regardless. But we wasn't taught the modesty of things, right? And I feel like that's what's missing in this generation now, like the modesty behind stuff, like just knowing that you can still look, if we have to use the word, even though I don't really use it like that, if we have to look sexy, we can do sexy covered, okay. It can be enduring, alluring even, right, instead of it being trashy and explicit, okay. Sorry to anybody, I don't want to cause anybody any offense or anything like that, but if I did, you need to go and work on that, okay. Work on that spirit of offense, because it's not being offensive, it's just pointing out something. So yeah, go and deal with that. But yeah, he's just saying at this time it's an area that needs to be looked at, taken care of, okay. And I think I've done this now. I don't think there's anything else he wants me for me to say. I keep on getting brown though. I keep on thinking of brown. I don't know what brown has to do with anything, all right? But recently it's probably for myself as well, because I saw something in brown and I thought it looked really nice. So he's probably just pinpointing that out to me. But if you've seen anything and it's brown, that could either be the implication that he's telling you do not buy the brown thing, or if it's something that isn't as revealing and it's brown, then go and buy that thing, okay. But I keep on getting brown and seeing brown, right? And I think that's it. But yeah, just don't allow for yourself to be brought to that place where your insecurities are going to take you somewhere that you don't need to go, take you all the way left, right? Stay on the right path and just keep taking everything to him. I know what insecurities can feel like, all right? I'm sure everybody has experienced insecurities in their lifetime, okay? We all get a little bit insecure sometimes, right? But you got to work on that, and you got to realize that you are beautiful regardless of what anybody may say or anyone may think, or you, even yourself may think, okay? Your life is worth it. Your life is worth it, okay? And you've got to believe this. I don't know if there's any other Bible verses. He never gave me any more. It was just because I did Songs of Solomon yesterday. And then it's just amazing that I've been brought right back to Songs of Solomon again. So you see, I see that he's speaking to me in the ways that he feels like he needs to speak to me right now. And this is something that needed to be addressed. So whoever this video is for, I'm here for you, and I understand, right? Just understand that I understand, right? Or overstand what you may be experiencing right now. And just take your time with it. But you have to get to that point where you just know who you are, all right, in him and what he says about you. And even if it takes looking in the mirror each day and just giving yourself that, guidance. I don't call them affirmations, all right, because it's all new agey. I used to at one stage, but now I just look at it as that's what they say, okay? Go in that mirror and give yourself that boost that you need, the guidance that you need. Ask for God to come forward so that He can show you all the beautiful things about yourself. Even when I looked into the mirror and I noticed, like, I have really big eyes, right? And at some stage I used to always feel down about my eyes, but my mum told me when I was born, the nurse was like, oh my God, she's got such big beautiful eyes. And I was like, oh my God. But it's always been a factor that people always kind of pointed out, like, oh my God, your eyes are massive. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I've just come to a stage where I've accepted that, and it's a beautiful thing to me because I have so much things that are different to other people. Okay, I am unique, and so are you. And the more that we take those flaws and turn them into beautiful attributes about ourselves, the better it is for us to realize just how much God loves us for just the way that we are and what we look like and who we are, our body shapes, whatever it may be. Okay, because in this world it's like you have to be a certain type, a certain skin tone or shape or whatever. Listen, you was given what you was given, and you are perfectly made. Okay, fearfully and wonderfully made. Now where's that at? See, I got another Bible verse. Hold on. Fearfully and wonderfully made. Hold on. Because it's showing me everything but. So, Psalms 139:14. Make the well-known statement, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Okay, that's the NIV version. So, he lets you know that you should know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay, and his works are wonderful. It says here, they are wonderful. No one else can do that for you but him. Okay, wonderful, amazing, whatever words you want to use. Okay, that's what you are, and that's what he thinks of you. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave this word here because I was supposed to come off about 5 minutes ago or however long I've been talking for. But yes, just take this word for whoever it is, and just know that he is there for you in the insecurities, in the times when you feel low and down. He wants you to come to him and no one else. Okay, no one else for likes. Okay, and anything else that they give to boost you up that little bit, and then you fall short again and depressed and feel like you need to post again just to get that feeling again. Don't be addicted to that feeling. Okay, may your addictions be removed, and may a healthy knowing and love of God take that place of that addiction. Okay, because it can become addictive to be online getting praised and liked and all those things. Okay, but anyway, ciao Bella.